Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to my small backyard vegetable garden here in central Victoria. I've just been around and picked a basket of mixed cherry tomatoes and look what I found. This little Minnesota midget has dislodged itself from the vine, and although it doesn't look quite ripe, I am going to cut into it and just see what it tastes like. This is the first year I have grown them and they look exactly the same as the regular rock melons I grew last summer, just on a smaller scale. They are gorgeous. Although I do not think it is quite ripe, really I should take it and sit it on the bench in the kitchen, but I cannot wait that long. So let's get in and have a taste. They taste exactly the same as the larger ones. This isn't as sweet, but it tastes beautiful. Hunter is drooling. He wants a taste again this summer, or now it is autumn. But look at this basket of tomatoes I've just picked. I've also come up to check on my brassicas after having all the rain. We had about an inch of rain and they got totally flooded in these containers that have the terracotta watering containers. So I had to come up and rescue them and pull them out and put them in some makeshift saucers. I would have just sat them on the table so the rain could drain out of them, but the soil underneath is a little fresh, and as yet the root system isn't that big to hold all the soil together. I was worried that that might all fall apart. They have enjoyed that rain so much, and these purple sprouting broccoli look absolutely happy. All these other smaller ones, unfortunately, I think I've lost track of what's what now. So we're just going to have a big mixed brassica bed. Here we are a couple of days later. The weather has warmed up a little bit and things have dried out. I can no longer put off picking all these Roma tomatoes. These bushes are full of fruit. These are the seedlings that I put in back when we were having frosts. They lived in under some jars and I thought that it may hurry them along, and I think in a normal season that would have happened, but our spring and summer was far from normal, or for what we normally experience. But here they are in autumn and I have so many to pick. But I'm looking at the difference of size of these Romas. It's amazing. This second bush, the tomatoes on it are huge. I couldn't get over the size change. I mean, they're planted right there beside each other, but it's like they were double the size. Because I have a shortage of freezer space, I will be taking these all inside, washing them, and then just throwing them into the food processor and just blending them down, putting absolutely nothing else in them, and filling up sandwich-sized bags and freezing them flat. I find that the most efficient way to freeze them, and that is what I normally do. That way I will have lots of bags and I can add a bag of fresh summer tomatoes into my cooking through winter. Look at the size of this one. And I will never get sick of seeing this. the difference in color is absolutely beautiful. Now, I had planned to just go in and pick all of the ripe tomatoes, and then I got picking and saw plenty of green ones just on the edge of ripening up. My aim is to clear these beds, so I decided that I would just go in and pick all the green tomatoes as well. So I went back over the plant that I had previously picked all the green fruit off it that is of size, and so now I just go on picking the rest. I will clear the bushes out and grade the colors as I go, and that way I can pull these bushes out once they are emptied and have easy access to the tomatoes on the inside. Hopefully most of these tomatoes will ripen up. If they don't and I have enough for green pickles, I may decide to make some, but if not, then they can either ripen or go into the compost bin. By doing this, it gives me the go-ahead to clear these out, even though these bushes look the healthiest at the moment out of all of the tomatoes in the garden. Once I decided that that was what I was going to do, it feels so good to get stuck in and get these out. I will now be going back and doing exactly the same to the San Mazzanos the other side, and I'll get the Thai pink eggs pulled out as well. It just takes that one hard decision to start clearing out the beds, and then you can move on. It's almost like you have to justify keeping a few green fruit on the bush, and when you can't, then that is the time to pull them out. And thankfully most of these have ripened up around the same time, which has been fantastic. They've sort of held off until I got most of the San Mazzano picked. Those I just cut into pieces and put them in a bag and then squish them in the bag, and then that way they are like a chunk that you can put into cooking, whereas these will be a puree because there is so much moisture in them. I would prefer to grow San Mazzanos. I would have grown them from seedlings had I been able to find them when I found these Romas, but that was all I could do, and really there is no complaints. All of these tomatoes taste fantastic in your winter cooking. I did get a heap of cherry tomatoes frozen whole in bags. It's like they're marbles in my freezer. So I've got plenty of bags of those to be dropped into cooking whole. And of course the San Mazzano chunks, and then these will be pureed. And of course, any kind of tomato cooking I am doing at the moment, I slice up some fresh tomatoes and in they go, which has been absolutely fantastic. when I was talking in my last video about the smaller cherry fruit splitting, this is what I'm talking about. They just fill with water and burst open. I don't eat any of those, but these ones that weren't as ripe are okay for now, and I will be picking these as many as I can while they are ripening up. These have been a fantastic treat, and I plan to grow these this coming summer, spring, summer, but in a different way. These garden beds here in the middle will be the last ones I clear up, so I'm going to make the most of this beautiful plant. These are the first capsicums I repotted up. They are the snack yellow, and there is lots of new growth coming through, which is very good for me to see. I've been trying to get a lot of seed sowing done. I've been coming out and trying to get at least one thing sown every second day so that I can take advantage of this beautiful warm weather we're having and get things germinated fast. I've got lots of things here, and I will show a bit more in my next video. There is a mix of flowers and leafy greens. I've got some spinach there, so I'm very happy to see that. The white hardneck garlic, and of course all my garlic has sprouted as well, which was extremely fast. I sort of thought I would have time to get the garden beds ready, but it is sprouted already, so there is plenty of root down the bottom and greens at the top. This is the New Zealand red. I put these in on the 13th of March, and they are looking pretty happy. I really need to get moving with pulling the tomatoes out so I can get these in a garden bed. These are the hardneck. There is plenty of root down there that have come through, but I am yet to see anything up the top. They may be slower, or I may have put those in a little deeper. So I'm extremely happy with all of these germinating and waiting on a few newer things to germinate. I still have a lot I want to get sown, and I put in an order for some seeds and ordered some turmeric at the same time. So I will be very happy to get that in a pot and growing as well. I've also had some ginger on my windowsill that I have been sprouting. Bought some organic ginger from the supermarket, and I have just had it in a shallow dish of water. Very sad to see that this Minnesota midget had been eaten into. It had also fallen off the vine. The other petite that had come off in the basil pot, I'm taking that inside, and it can wait because I really don't think it is ready. These are the brassicas I had in some plastic pots on my table that I needed to pot up, and decided because I am so short of room, I would just tease them out of their pot and roll them into a large seed snail, and they are enjoying it so much. I've got a few yellowing leaves on these, but I think that had to do with the over watering with the rain and then the water soaking away out of the seed snails. They might have got a little dry.